In this video, we're going to be looking at manipulating the data frame and creating additional variables to do things like check for inconsistencies in the data. All right, so we have this, DF, this data frame that has the California workplace area characteristics. Just as a reminder, we can look at the data frame. There's 243,000 observations. Has information about jobs, and I'm going to be looking at the first few columns here. There's the C000, that's the total number of jobs, and then the CA01, CA02, CA03 columns. These are the number of jobs split up by age group. Now, it would make sense for the sum of the jobs split up by age group should be equal to the total number of jobs, right? So if we look at these CA01, 02, 03, 2 plus 16 plus 12, that's 30, and that matches up with 30 for that, just for that first row. Now, if we want to check if that's true for every single observation, we really wouldn't be able to do it, by hand like we just did for the first one, but we can actually, do this automatically in R. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new column in this data frame that contains the sum of these three columns, CA01, CA02, CA03. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check if it's equal to that C000 column. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called mutate. And now this is what you can use to add an additional column to the data frame based on other variables that are in the data frame. Right. So I'm going to do CA sum is the name of the new column. And to get it, I am just going to sum up CA01 plus CA02 plus CA03. Right. For now, just to check it out, I'm going to just do a head on top of that. And so what you'll notice is that this created a new column. Now you can see there's 34, 3, and all it did was it added up these three columns, CA01, CA02, CA03. And so what we want to do is we want to check, does this column match up with this column, the C000 column? And so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put CA with sum, and I'm going to remove the head to basically create a new data frame that has the sum column, the CA sum column. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two columns to check against each other. And I can just kind of compare those two columns directly, and it'll compare each element of those columns with the kind of corresponding one in the other one. Right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do CA with sum. I'm going to take that CA sum column, the sum of those CA columns, the CA01, CA02, CA03. And then I can do CA sum C000. And so I'm going to just run this now. This is going to give a lot of output here. You can kind of see all these falses. And basically this just checks the first element of the left-hand side. Remember, this is just a column, just a vector. Just checks the first element with the first element on the right-hand side. Now, I want to know how many times was it the case that, the two were not equal. In order to do that, I can just actually put a sum around this. And there's more than one way to do this. You can kind of assign it to another variable and then take the sum of that, for example. But here I'll just do the sum. And what this will do is find how many times they were not equal. In this case, it's 0. They were always equal, which is a good thing. It seems like this is consistent. There's no errors with regard to the CA variables adding up.